Am I the a-hole for dropping my kids off at my wife's grieving friend's house after she refused to come home? I 31M never imagined asking the internet whether I'm the bad guy, but the last month has pushed my marriage into a place I don't recognize. My wife 30F has a best friend, Jessie 30F, whose husband passed away suddenly about a month ago. It devastated her, and I understand that. My wife has always been empathetic to a fault, and Jessie practically lived at our house before she got married. So when the loss happened, I didn't question my wife being there for her. What I didn't expect was my wife practically moving into Jessie's house and leaving me alone to handle everything at home for weeks on end. I work a job where I'm on call some nights, and we rely heavily on that on-call pay because money is tight. Since Jessie's husband died, my wife has been at her place nearly every day, sometimes from morning until midnight, sometimes even staying overnight with no warning. I've been doing school drop-offs, pickups, dinners, bedtime routines, laundry, cleaning, all while juggling my job. At first I told myself it was temporary, that once Jessie stabilized, things would go back to normal. But nothing changed. Every time I tried to talk to my wife about needing more help with our daughters, 6 and 9, she'd snap at me and say I was being heartless or selfish and that Jessie needed her more than anyone. Yesterday everything came to a head. I was on call, and this time I actually got called in unexpectedly. I told my wife she needed to come home because I had to leave. She immediately said no, flat, cold, like it wasn't even a discussion, and told me to figure it out. I reminded her that we had no sitter money, my parents live hours away, her parents aren't allowed around the kids for safety reasons, and our friends all have families and jobs. She said, "I'm busy. Don't make this my problem." Then she hung up. I stared at the phone for a full minute because it didn't sound like my wife at all. I thought about calling off work, but we genuinely can't afford it. So I packed up the girls, grabbed their backpacks, and drove toward my job. On the way, I stopped at Jessie's house. My wife's car was there, of course. I walked the kids to the porch, knocked, and told my wife I had to clock in within the hour and they needed supervision. She looked furious, like I dragged her into a courtroom. She said Jessie was grieving and didn't need kids running around. I told her I didn't have another option and that she was their mother before anything else. Jessie came to the door, clearly confused but polite, and told us it was fine. I hugged both girls, apologized that things were weird, and left for work. When I got home later, my wife was waiting for me, livid. She accused me of ambushing her, embarrassing her in front of Jessie, and dumping the kids on her when she wasn't in the right mental space. I told her that for the last month, I have been the one raising our daughters while she played emotional support spouse for someone else. I told her she needed to be a parent, not just a friend. She screamed that I was a heartless fucking man who didn't understand grief. I told her grief doesn't give you a free pass to abandon your own children. She cried. I didn't. I was too tired. Later that night, I sat there wondering how everything got so twisted. I never blamed her for helping Jessie. I wasn't angry that she cared. I was angry that she stopped caring about us. The girls have asked why mommy never tucks them in anymore. Why mommy isn't around in the mornings. Why mommy only comes home to shower and leave again. I've been trying so hard to keep things normal, but I'm drowning. I'm exhausted. And the worst part is, she doesn't see the problem. She thinks I should shoulder everything because Jessie lost her whole world. But what about our kids losing their mother for a month straight? What about me losing my partner? What about our family? She's been giving me the silent treatment since last night, telling anyone who will listen that I humiliated her and weaponized the kids. But I keep replaying yesterday in my head, and I can't come up with a version where my choice wasn't the only one available. I didn't leave the kids with a stranger. I left them with their mom. So now I'm wondering, am I really the a-hole for forcing her to be a parent for one afternoon when she refused to come home? Or is my wife the one who crossed the line by abandoning our household during someone else's tragedy?